Welcome, Aquarius, to your Starspoken Oracle reading for the week of July 22nd through July 28th, 2026. This week, the cosmic currents are inviting you into a profound reckoning, a moment where past choices, present clarity, and future direction converge with remarkable intensity. The card guiding this journey is Judgement, an archetype of awakening, accountability, and transformation. It challenges you not just to hear a call but to respond with deliberate action, reshaping your path with newfound insight. Let's begin by exploring the cosmic weather framing this pivotal week. As the Sun steps into Leo on July 22nd, it illuminates your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, and mirrors. Suddenly, the spotlight is on your connections, how you relate, and where mutual recognition or judgment has been playing out. This solar ingress primes you to evaluate who you stand beside and what those bonds reveal about your own identity. On July 23rd, Mercury stations direct in Cancer in your 6th house of daily rhythms, health, and service. Clarity surrounding your routines, work habits, and well-being will unfold gradually. Mercury's direct motion invites you to re-engage with your environment and responsibilities with a refreshed perspective. It's not an instant reset but a gentle unfolding that supports the judgment call to assess and realign your habits. Meanwhile, Saturn stations retrograde in Aries, your 3rd house of communication, learning, and mental patterns, on July 26th. Saturn's backward step invites you to revisit how you process information, express yourself, and structure your mindset. This may feel like a re-examination of mental boundaries or commitments to your own learning. In parallel, the true North Node's retrograde entrance into Aquarius, your 1st house of self and identity, heralds a karmic loop back to your core essence. This deep cosmic nudge encourages you to question, how authentic are you living? Are your external choices aligned with your inner truth? The Judgment card is a perfect symbol for this week's cosmic dance. In tarot, Judgment calls for a reckoning, a sounding of the trumpet that awakens the soul to its higher purpose. It represents a moment of self-evaluation where you weigh your past deeds and decisions, confront any lingering guilt or denial, and choose either renewal or stagnation. This is not about external judgment but the internal verdict that steers your evolution. For Aquarius, this theme becomes intimately tied to your identity, 1st house North Node, your communication patterns, 3rd house Saturn, your daily work and health routines, 6th house Mercury, and your relationships, 7th house Sun. Consider this week as a chance to conduct a soul audit, with Judgment as your internal judge and guide. What parts of your life are calling for closure? Which relationships or habits require honest reassessment? What truths have you been avoiding that now demand your attention? The answers you find will not only influence your immediate choices but shape the trajectory of your awakening in the months ahead. Let's break this down into specific areas of life to clarify where this energy is likely to manifest most strongly. In love, the Sun's transit through your 7th house spotlights your partnerships. Judgment asks you to honestly evaluate these connections. Are they supporting your growth or keeping you stuck? This week, you might face moments where you must confront difficult truths with a partner or yourself. It's a time to release old resentments or patterns that no longer serve mutual evolution. If you're single, this card suggests a call to awaken to what you truly seek in a relationship. Are you ready to meet someone who reflects your highest self, or do you need to clear old emotional baggage first? Transparency and openness will be your allies. At work, Mercury's direct motion in your 6th house means that clarity about your daily responsibilities and work environment is returning, but slowly. Judgment here invites you to reflect on whether your current job or projects align with your authentic purpose. Are you merely going through the motions, or is your work a conscious extension of your values? This week, re-examine your routines and consider what needs to be restructured or released. It's an ideal time to seek feedback and open channels of communication with colleagues or supervisors to ensure your efforts are in harmony with your long-term vision. Regarding money, Judgment's call in the context of your houses encourages a sober review of your financial decisions. While the week's astrology doesn't highlight your 2nd or 8th houses directly, the overarching theme of accountability cannot be denied here. Look back over past financial choices. Have you been responsible and intentional, or have you allowed avoidance or denial to govern your spending and saving? This week, you might receive information or insight prompting you to make a decisive financial move or to clear lingering debts or obligations. Transparency with yourself about your financial health is crucial for long-term stability. When it comes to health and energy, Mercury's influence on your 6th house encourages you to gently reassess your daily health routines. The Judgment card suggests that you may be on the brink of awakening to deeper truths about your body's needs and limits. This is a time to listen closely to your physical and emotional signals. Perhaps habits you've ignored need to be addressed now. Consider practices that foster renewal and healing, such as mindful physical activity, better sleep hygiene, or nutritional adjustments. Saturn's retrograde in your 3rd house also reminds you that mental health impacts your physical vitality. Work on releasing negative self-talk or limiting beliefs that might be sapping your energy. Now, let's walk through your week day by day to help you navigate these themes with intention. Wednesday, July 22nd. The Sun enters Leo and illuminates your 7th house of partnerships. Notice what your closest relationships reflect back to you. Instead of deciding immediately who is right or wrong, pay attention to what each interaction reveals about your own needs, boundaries, and expectations. Thursday, July 23rd. Mercury stations direct in Cancer in your 6th house. Clarity around work, routines, and well-being begins returning gradually. Revisit one responsibility or habit that has felt confusing or inefficient, but give yourself time before treating every new conclusion as final. Friday, July 24th. Bring judgment into the ordinary details of your day. Choose one routine you have been repeating automatically and ask whether it still serves the person you are becoming. You do not need to redesign your entire life. One conscious adjustment is enough. Saturday, July 25th. Turn your attention toward your words and mental patterns. Notice an old conversation, assumption, or unfinished idea that continues occupying space in your mind. Rather than forcing resolution, identify what the experience is still trying to teach you. Sunday, July 26th. Saturn stations retrograde in Aries in your 3rd house, while the true North Node retrograde enters Aquarius in your 1st house. Communication, identity, and self-definition come into the same conversation. Ask whether the way you speak, think, and explain yourself reflects who you actually are now, or an older version you have outgrown. Monday, July 27th. Practice judgment as discernment rather than self-criticism. Look at one past decision you still judge harshly and separate the lesson from the punishment. Keep what the experience taught you. Question whether you still need to carry the shame, resentment, or identity attached to it. Tuesday, July 28th. Close the week by choosing one response to the call you have been hearing. Make it concrete, change a routine, initiate a conversation, establish a boundary, or write down a decision you are ready to honor. Awakening becomes meaningful when insight changes behavior. As this week unfolds, consider these 3 journal prompts to deepen your reflection. 1. What past decisions or patterns am I ready to release in order to live more authentically? 2. How do my daily routines and habits support or hinder my true purpose? 3. In what ways can I approach my relationships with greater honesty and openness? Aquarius, your weekly guidance centers on the theme of conscious awakening through decisive self-assessment. Here is a concrete exercise to anchor this energy. At the start of each day this week, take 5 minutes to silently ask yourself, what truth about myself am I ready to hear today? Write down any thoughts or feelings that arise without censoring. At night, review your notes and identify one actionable insight you can carry into the next day. This practice cultivates a sustained dialogue between your inner judge and your evolving self, helping you respond to judgment's call with clarity and courage. Remember, the key lesson of judgment for you this week is that awakening is not a single moment but a process of ongoing reckoning and renewal. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and the willingness to surrender old narratives that no longer serve your growth. Let this week support a fuller expression of your truth, not through a dramatic reinvention, but through the choices you are finally willing to make. Affirm this week, I honor my truth and choose renewal with courage and clarity. Carry that with you through July 28th. Subscribe so your next weekly reading is waiting for you. Trust the timing. The stars have spoken.